Nothing truly matters. Not even saving the world. But you have to believe what you're doing has meaning. That's the only way to keep moving forward.
This quote has been stuck in my mind ever since I heard it for the first time. Aemeath's goal has never been to save the world. We see this at the beginning of the cinematic trailer when she speaks to a younger Miss Voss.
Saving the world? You are impossible. It was a joke. Didn't think it'd set off a volcano.
But you even have something you're passionate about.
Me? I just want a happy, carefree life.
And we know that throughout the simulation, she was able to forcefully resonate with the Exostrider to essentially become its resonator, all to protect the people she saw that was in danger. However, this in turn brought about what is essentially a curse onto Aemeath, a curse that would change her life forever. Now, usually, Aemeath is this lively, happy-go-lucky person that has confidence when it comes to synchronous training, and the only thing she wished for was to live a carefree life. However, when the Dronodian Aleph 1 threatened that very wish, she turns away from that goal of having a carefree life and turns it into something much bigger. She decides to protect her friends, family, classmates, and what is essentially the entire world. But it seems as if something within her changed after becoming one with the Exostrider. Something may have influenced our lovable pink-haired girl to fall into what I honestly believe is a nihilistic mentality. And the Exostrider may very well be the main reason behind all of this. Let's talk about it. Now, you might be thinking that Aemeath has never shown any signs of nihilism every time we've seen her. But not only have we seen this firsthand, but she actually showed us two types of nihilism, that being cosmic nihilism and optimistic nihilism. We can find the cosmic nihilism mentality when she says,
Nothing truly matters. Not even saving the world.
This part of the quote fully embodies the meaning of cosmic nihilism, which is the philosophical belief that human life is entirely insignificant, meaningless, and inconsequential within the very vast, indifferent, and chaotic expanse of the universe. So she's basically saying that it doesn't matter whether or not she saves the world, because as humans, they're all gonna eventually meet the same fate no matter what she does. And we can find her optimistic nihilism mentality when she says,
But you have to believe what you're doing has meaning. That's the only way to keep moving forward.
This again perfectly captures the philosophy behind optimistic nihilism, which is the philosophical perspective that because life has no inherent objective meaning or purpose, individuals are free to create their own meaning and enjoy life without the pressure of cosmic expectations. This is why she tells us that regardless of how meaningless it is to save the world, we still have the freedom to decide why we do the things we do. Because giving these goals our own meaning makes this empty void of nothing a little less negative and a little more positive. So yeah, Aemeath's current mentality is very nihilistic in nature, and can we blame her? When you've essentially become a digital ghost, living in such isolation would very well spiral anyone down that nihilistic mentality. But what if Aemeath's nihilism wasn't created organically, but instead was a byproduct of merging with the Exostrider? Now, I could have just chalked up Aemeath's nihilism to her being forced to become a digital ghost. After all, it makes sense, seeing as she basically spends her entire life alone because of something she had no control over. But when you think about it for a second, it doesn't really make sense. While yes, Aemeath is a digital ghost, every time we've seen her, she's having fun, regardless of her current status. Now, that doesn't mean she doesn't feel alone from time to time. I'm sure anyone in her situation would. But we know for a fact that Aemeath's will and determination are quite strong. I mean, after all, she was able to forcefully become the resonator for the Exostrider. It was her will to save everyone that finally connected that link to the Exostrider. So, her saying that quote really doesn't fit her personality at all. However, with this newfound information about the Exostrider, we can confirm that the Exostrider was built from the same technology as the Sentinels. And we know that the Exostrider has a consciousness. After all, it was able to do many of its feats, like seal Aleph 1 in the Strider Gate, remove its own reactor drive so it can be used as the sun for Lahai Roy, etc. The Exostrider also has a Drenodian opponent, just like how any other Sentinel would have one. Basically, what I'm trying to get at is, what's the real difference between the Exostriders and the Sentinels? If Aemeath is the resonator for the Exostrider, and the Exostrider practically fits most of the criteria like its Sentinel counterparts, what if Aemeath resonating with the Exostrider is the actual cause behind her nihilistic mentality? What if, alongside her digital ghost curse, she also adopted some of the Exostrider's own mentality? So if you aren't aware, Synchronists aren't actually resonating directly with the Exostrider. And this is because resonators can overclock and die, so directly resonating with the Exostrider isn't an option. I mean, after all, I don't think the average resonator would be able to handle resonating with a Sentinel-like being. So this information now confirms that Aemeath has in fact directly resonated with the Exostrider in her cinematic trailer, thus becoming the Exostrider's resonator. And this now allows us to ask the question of how Aemeath's mindset is influenced by the Exostrider. Well, you see, Jinshi back in 1.0 stated that she could sense Yue's thoughts, memories, feelings, and surroundings since she's directly resonated with Yue. It's safe to assume that this is the case for all Sentinel resonators like Cardathea since they resonated directly with their Sentinels. Even Rover as the Arbiter can sense things like this to a certain degree, like how we saw back in 1.0. And since the Exostrider is made up of the same technology as Sentinels, then Aemeath directly resonating with the Exostrider should have given her access to his memories, thoughts, surroundings, and most importantly, feelings. What if Aemeath was exposed to not only those nihilistic feelings of the Exostrider, but also some sort of memories that had leaned her more into that nihilistic mentality? Exostrider, much like Aleph 1, seems to not have originated from Solaris 3, judging by the article that states the same Aleph 1's frequency doesn't originate from Solaris 3. And if Aleph 1 came from the same Strider Gate with the Exostrider, then it's very much likely that the Exostrider also originated from beyond Solaris 3 as well. Therefore, if Aemeath got a hold of the Exostrider's memories, it would be so vast that saving this world would seem meaningless in the vast vacuum of space. If that's the case, right? Now, it seems like I couldn't find anything concrete to prove how Aemeath's connection to the Exostrider means she was able to see this vast universe they actually live in. I mean, it's not as if there's a quote that can easily prove that she has access to information she shouldn't have known until after her connection to the Exostrider. Oh wait.
The universe has rejected us. Is this the answer you've been seeking? I hope to make you proud. I hope I haven't let you down.
The universe has rejected us. How would Aemeath even know about this simple yet chilling revelation, unless she was resonating with a being who knows this answer already? The Exostrider did in fact influence Aemeath into this nihilistic mentality. However, it was due to its vast knowledge, Aemeath quickly realized how absolutely meaningless it is to save the world. After all, cosmic nihilism is the theory that everything doesn't matter in the ever-expanding universe. However, due to her strong-willed nature, she has founded her own meaning in this goal, which eventually ties back into her optimistic nihilism mentality, which is the theory of having the freedom to choose your own meaning without the worries about the pressure of cosmic expectations. Anyways, that's my reason as to how Aemeath's innocent dream eventually created her nihilistic mentality. I had a lot of fun going through the lore of the Exostrider, Aleph 1, etc. I also want to shout out the GOAT himself, Cronus, for giving me the idea of Aemeath's nihilism being tied to the Exostrider. It genuinely opened up so much doors for this video to even be possible in the first place. And I'll also be putting the link to a Redditor that discussed how the Synchronists aren't actually directly resonating with the Exostrider. That Redditor also came in clutch when I was looking up stuff about the Synchronists. Anyways, that's gonna be it for the video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts about the video down in the comments below, and I will see you all in the next Wuthering Waves video. Signing off.
I've been so tired. I don't wanna fight, but you're a liar. I need your help, cause the situation's dire. I'm so sick of using people to get high.